Welcome everybody to the CrossFire podcast. We are going to have the show of a lifetime. This is something that I think a lot of Xbox fans have been looking forward to, myself included, and that is Gears of War 5. Yes, I went with the old school name, Gears of War 5. Gears 5 to all you guys that are joining now, but I got to be honest with you, this is a resurgence. This is a new beat. This is like a B12 shot for Xbox fans. This game is fantastic. We're going to talk about it. I've assembled a great panel tonight for you guys. I'm not going to keep everyone the full, maybe we won't go full 2 hours. I don't know. I got to be honest with you. It depends on how in-depth these conversations get, but I know everybody wants the game. So with that being said, as Jay kind of lets everybody shuffle in slowly but surely here, I want to say what's up to everybody. Let everyone know that we do have quick little shout out to Crap Gamer. Crap couldn't make it tonight. He's got some stuff going on. He's on assignment tonight, but he will be back next week. So do check out Crap Gamer reviews. He just had a video go up, but check it out after Crossfire. That being said, let me start with the one, the only. He's so positive. He's literally got rainbows over his house all year long. It's Xbot448. Xbot, how the hell you doing?
Yo, what is going on, brother? It's funny you say rainbows, because now that we moved over by the beach, whenever there's like a
by the beach,
right by the
right
beach,
near the beach.
But dude, we've had a couple showers and stuff like that, and every single time there's a rain shower and the sun comes out over here, there's a freaking rainbow, man. It's crazy. But what's going on, Mooch? How you doing, man?
Buddy, I'm doing great. And I got to be honest with you. I see pictures of you and Mel putting things up. Shout out to Mel, too. Oh, snap, it's Mel. You guys look so happy and content over there in your new place. And all I can say is congratulations, because that's what it's all about. We live every day in our homes. You drive every day in your vehicles. I always say, if your home or your vehicle, it should always be something you love, because that's where we spend all our time. And also your gaming console of choice, nonetheless.
Wherever my Xbox One X is, that's where home is.
This is true.
And it's right here next to me, man. So there we go.
This is very true, brother.
Xbox is. That was beautiful, Xbox.
That was beautiful.
You hear that, Phil? Hire me.
Well, with that being said, let me give a big shout out on his return to Crossfire. It's great to have him back. He actually popped in and did one of the best cameos on a podcast when myself and Eric both shared the Iron Lords podcast stage together. Eric Jackson, welcome back. E, I appreciate you being here, man. What have you been up to?
Hey, thanks for the invite, man. Nothing, man. Hey, survived, or I should say dodged a bullet on the hurricane.
Yes, you did.
But definitely, I'll say again, man.
Thank God.
Shout outs to the people of the Bahamas. Right now, it's a lot of people like doing a lot of rescue and not rescue, but what do you call it? I'm drawing a blank. Taking donations and stuff like that, and
absolutely Red Cross, etc. Yes.
Yeah, I heard even like Carnival Cruise Lines has gotten involved with shipping stuff over there. But other than that, yeah, getting back to work, getting back to a little bit of normalcy.
It's funny, E, when I asked you to come on the show, I just had been keeping track of the weather, too, over the course. Of course, I'm up in New York. Doesn't affect me the same way it affected you. But I have so many friends down in Florida, and I've been keeping an eye on everything. And I said, I bet you E probably could do the show because he's not in that crisis situation we were in about a week ago.
Yeah.
So,
thank
God.
Things are back to normal. It gets back to normal pretty quick until the next one, because we're not out of the season yet. So it could be next week. They're like, get ready. It might be another one. So
somebody get E transferred to New York stat, please. That being said, I've got my buddy here. He's also, on Basement Radio Arcade Podcast, and he's actually the founder of BRAP. It's Enrique. Enrique, welcome back to the show, buddy.
Hey, third week in a row. This is exciting.
Well, it is exciting. It's really hard to get Enrique, by the way. You guys don't know what behind the scenes are like to get these podcasts up and rolling,
I think somebody needs to get Daddy a beer. That's all I got to say.
Wow.
Daddy beer.
Oh, that's later in the show, Xbot. That's great. No, Enrique, it's great to have you here, buddy. And I know you've got a ton of pros and maybe a con or two. Nothing negative, but a couple of things to say.
No.
Right?
Yeah, nothing negative. I mean, it's just observations.
Well, what's wrong with that?
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right there, guys.
Absolutely, there's nothing wrong with that. And I want to say shout out quick. We'll introduce him again when he comes back on. But Pred will be here. Predator H2O shall be here very, very soon. He's en route. So once that happens, I'm sure he knows how to make an entrance. I won't worry about that. Let's get right into it, guys.
I would say, as long as he makes the Ghost Recon stuff, he'll be happy.
He will. He definitely will. Even though I don't think anyone else has played it besides him. Nonetheless, we'll get an update for the audience. Let me start with Xbot, because Xbot, you said this too. We were talking about this just a few minutes ago behind the scenes in the show. And he says, Mooch, even yourself, Crap, anybody, you can't really find anything wrong. This game is outstanding. And you know what, Xbot? I'm going to go ahead and ride with you on this. This game really did make me, like, when you grab your two pointer fingers and you kind of wince your eyes and you're like, is this really happening on my screen? This is really happening on my screen. It looks gorgeous. It's breathtaking. Okay, not to take Keanu's words from him, but what do you think, Xbot? What was it that really kind of dazzled you? Is it the gameplay? Is it the aesthetics? Is it the new looking world? Is it the color that they've added? What kind of brought you around to this? Almost probably going to give this thing I could see you giving a well over a 9.
Well, we'll see. I am going to do a review on it for my channel, shameless plug and whatnot.
Absolutely.
But, when it comes down to it, I streamed Gears 5. If people don't know, we're talking about Gears 5 right now, people. But I streamed it last night, and with my Elgato, I wasn't able to see it, with the high dynamic range. Some people, I was seeing it 1080p, standard kind of, when it comes to the color and stuff like that. And it looked really good last night. So I put it on when I came home from work today, and I'm like, Oh my goodness, it is like that high dynamic range color and what they did with the lighting. Absolutely incredible.
The HDR is day and night, though, isn't it not?
Dude, it makes a huge difference. I started on stage. I had stopped my stream where I was on stage in a theater, like a play theater type thing. And when I went in today, I went in with the HDR on and everything, and the purple lights and stuff like that they have around the stage were making such an awesome ambient glow, and you see it reflected off the wall in the back, and just all the reflections off the wood on the floor. Graphically, this game is incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I gotta say, like, what impresses me so much is the fact that this is a complete package from what I'm seeing, from what I'm hearing from the story, the voice acting, the visuals.
Voice acting is phenomenal.
And dude, and I said this off air, I'm going to throw it out there on air. They did this in 2.5 years, people.
That is something to be reckoned with. I mean, that's unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, 2.5-year turnaround. I do believe, and Enrique, I'll kind of turn it over to you here a little bit. I do believe, even though me and Xbot were kind of saying 2.5 years, this is something that the coalition, you could see it's the same engine. They've been working on this for a while. Of course, they had to get Gears 4 out, but you could see it's a more polished Gears 4. It is absolutely stunning. What was your take? And we're going to get into the review scores and that whole debacle in a second, but I really want to get your guys' opinions on your gameplay and just how you felt when you picked up the controller again after this hiatus and played Gears 5 yesterday. Do we have Enrique?
I'm here. I'm sorry.
Oh,
you know what? I had to step away, guys. Sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Okay.
But I'm back.
No, I want to know what you honestly, how did you feel after a 2.5-year hiatus from Gears, how you picked up Gears 5, this polished new version the Coalition put out? What was it? What was your take? I mean, because I got to tell you, I put the controller down, looked over, and I was like, this is gorgeous. This is a masterpiece. So what were your impressions when you first picked up the controller and you saw that first graphic? My fault. I say that with a drink.
Yeah. Look, I probably like the rest of us, I thought to myself, God, this is what we've been asking for in terms of big AAA blockbuster exclusives. Those bangers that we talk about. This is what I thought Gears 4 should have been.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, this is a return for this franchise. At least for me, this is a return to their glory. This is the best Gears that I played since the trilogy.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Yeah, and that first, I don't know, not I'm not going to list it or give away any spoilers or anything, but that first, that chapter, the first chapter, whatever, the first act,
the complete first act with the 4 chapters.
Yeah, that was
incredible.
My
goodness, brother.
Now, I'm going to full transparency here to the audience. I'm only halfway through the first act. I told everybody this a few days back. I had a football fantasy. I think I was telling Cognito this when I was on Iron Lords. I said it's unbelievable. I had football fantasy on the day of football kicking off, right? Because we had Packers-Bears last night. And I said by the time I got home, I didn't get a chance to start it up and really get going. I got a little less than halfway through the first act. But here's my concern. And Eric, I'm going to go to you with this concern. You tell me how much I'm right or wrong. I'm hearing so much good about Act 1, Eric, I'm a little concerned. Is there going to be, and if you know this, you don't have to answer if you don't want to. You can speak in hypotheticals. Is there a drop off from Act 1 where Act 1's so good that you're like, after that? Or, I mean, I'm hearing that sometimes from certain people. In the reviews, you can almost pick up their tones.
That there's a drop off or no drop off?
That there is.
That there is a drop off. I don't know yet. Like I said, I'm not too far in.
Okay.
Probably about an hour. Maybe I don't even know if I'm an hour in because I only got a little bit in before bed.
We may be the same then.
Guys,
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have not heard about the drop off.
This is completely a gut feeling, Eric. There's no one saying drop off.
Yeah,
Okay,
I kind of
okay.
shared that with you, but I didn't call it a drop off.
Yeah.
No. You said it had some pacing issues, which is far from like a drop off. You know, I mean,
Right.
There's plenty of games that we play that like, that's some odd pacing, but doesn't really take away from the overall experience. Yeah, Mooch, I know what you're talking about. Like, sometimes you feel like, am I getting too giddy, and am I gonna drop me off a cliff later? But from what I've heard from a few people who I trust and have been playing, and they say it ramps up.
That's what I wanted to hear.
That first chapter or the first act in general is sort of just like that warm up period.
Well, here's my other question to you. To be honest with you, Eric, is this a situation where Xbox needed this game, right? I mean, I think. But where do we go from here? Is this something that you think that now the coalition has set the bar? This kind of puts 343 on notice, I think.
Dude, you're in my head because I was actually thinking about this. Here's my qualifier. It has been a very long time since I've had a game on the Xbox platform from the first party where I've been at work like, God damn, I need to get home.
Yes.
I'm
there. I'm right there.
That's when you know you have something. When people are like, I got to get back and check out the rest of it because of what I've played so far. I know we can do the qualifier. Well, yeah, it's more Gears. Okay, I get that. We know that Gears has certain mechanics that it's going to always have, right? But it's in the first part, there's like things that weren't there before. I mean, you can have, what's the new robot? Not Jack, the other one.
Dave.
Drone. Dave. Dave's going off, picking up stuff for you and bringing it back. I'm like, oh, that's a nice new little hook that they put in there.
Dave's the man.
It's like little things like that. You can scan the area, putting in the stealth kills. I'm like, those are all little, new things that you start to add and start to build up on, right? So I think in that area, and beyond the fact that it just looks like it's gorgeous. I mean, like, talk about attention to detail. And I don't even know if you guys picked up on this. I said, you talk about attention to detail. Before they jumped out, and I don't want to do too many spoilers, but when they jump out and rappel into that area, and you look under one of their boots, there's like actual like loading requirement documentation like on the actual edge of the helicopter. And I'm like, damn.
Yes.
And you can read it. And it's like, I don't know, people probably like, really? That's what you... No, those are things you look at, you go, that's attention to detail.
Yes.
Those are things that immerse you.
That's what you see in a big AAA game that has a big budget. You see that level of detail. We haven't seen that. I'll say probably since Halo, but I don't even think Halo 5 has that level of, or that attention to detail that Gears 5 has.
Halo 5 graphically did not age well. Let's be real. Like I could say that as a Halo.
Yeah.
It didn't, man. And I can't wait to see because they got a new engine when it comes to Halo. Mooch, when you said putting 343 on notice, like
yes.
I would think that, and I would almost guarantee, like these first party studios have been communicating with each other for I don't know how long. In terms of this game in development, Halo Infinite in development, Xbox first party, they talk to each other, they help each other out, they move each other forward and stuff like that. So I'm looking at this Gears as like the first step into what we're gonna see from at least the big three from Xbox first party studios. So Coalition, you have 343, and you have Turn 10, right?
Right.
I don't think there's anything to worry about when it comes to Halo because these development studios are talking to each other as well. They're showing each other progress, stuff like that. I think this next Halo is gonna drop jaws.
Look, let me put it this way. I know where you're coming from, and I have to also take for the grain of salt that you're a massive Halo fan. So I understand.
Put that in there
right?
somewhere.
Right? Like I get that. Like that's not debatable. But I mean, at the same point, what I think is when you look at what just to use as an example, Naughty Dog did when they put The Last of Us out there, and they took Uncharted and they stepped it up a notch. Who else starts to step up after that? You know, you see Sony Santa Monica step up.
Yep.
Then you see Ben Studio step up. What I mean by this is only positivity. Okay, it's just like
think about Gorilla. Gorilla made
absolutely,
what they did with, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Because let's be honest, Eric, right? Killzone. I mean, Killzone's like a C+ game for me.
Dude,
like
I couldn't
It's a
get
total
money
launch
to
game.
take that game off my hands. So Killzone, like nobody would take that from me. I'm like, here, you can just have it. They're like,
I think you can get like $1 for it.
no, and then they bounce back with
pretty
Guerrilla
bad.
Games. It's the same thing. Listen, and you guys know I'm a huge Mets fan. I love sports. But at the same time, okay, I just because the audience has got us tuned in for this one. When you have a really amazing ace on your squad in baseball, you can see that when he's that good and the pedigree's that great, and he's a 20-win winner for the year before and this year, all of a sudden the rest of the pitching staff wants to step up. They don't want to let him down. They don't want to be like, you're the only guy who gets W's. No. So my point being here is, if Rod and his team went out there and now they're triumphant and they're saying, this is what we do, this is how amazing we can be. If you're 3-4-3, you're like
2.5 years, people.
it is. It's something. It really is something. So I mean,
Called
that's
crunch.
It is crunch.
It works.
It definitely
It's
works.
crunch. Come on.
You know, I mean, I don't. That's just my whole thing. I think that's the truth. Let me get and I have a great segue for my second topic, but I want to stay here for a second because
yeah,
Enrique.
let's marinate here.
Let me.
Bit
Well, let me. Go ahead. You got
Oh
something?
no, because there was something that Enrique said about Gears 4. He's saying that this is what he wanted Gears 4 to be, and when we go back and look at that, we had the Coalition, brand new studio. We know it was Black Tusk before that.
That's right.
Rod got brought in as like the studio lead and everything like that, and even Rod came out and said he just wanted to show people that they can make a Gears game, like the heart of Gears will not will still be in that game. So a lot of people said, Gears 4, oh, they played it safe, they did this, they did that. Technically, and on a graphical standpoint, they
Right.
did some amazing things in Gears 4. And I think that this whole, oh, they played it safe thing was just Rod showing to the committed Gears fan out there
Yes.
that even though it doesn't say epic on the cover,
Yes.
that it's still a Gears game. And I think what we're seeing with Gears 5 is now graphically they have refined the tools that they're using. I mean, they went 50% more polygons per character
Yes.
in this Gears. That is absolutely insane to jump it up by 50%. So when you're looking at like the armor, the clothing, stuff like that, it is absolutely incredible what they did there. You could go up and down. I watched Digital Foundry talk about what they found in terms of shadowing and everything like that. And even the guy from Digital Foundry, and what their history has been this generation, he was like, I can go on and on about what they did graphically in Gears 5. Basically, simply incredible the amount of things that they utilized in terms of the lighting and stuff like that. And I just feel now you're seeing Coalition's Gears. It has the heart of Gears. See what they can do graphically. And again, Mooch, I'm going to say it one more time.
Go ahead.
2.5 years, brother. That's what
listen,
amazes me the most.
It is a big deal. I want to say shout out to Rossetti. Thank you for the subscription on the channel. Let me say this much though. I do want to get into this, okay? Because as I just checked it right now, as we stand. So if someone listens to the show later and the numbers change, please understand this is a live look right now, 7:34 p.m. Eastern time on September 6th. I just saw that we are sitting at an 85 on Meta. Enrique, what
Meta
do you?
who?
Right, Meta, huh?
Meta who?
But I mean, what do you guys think? Is this something? Here we are talking about possibly the best Gears game, okay, or at least it rivals the originals. And now we're sitting here and we're saying 85, and I mean that's well below the first three, and it's a smidgen above Gears 4, which we felt was uber safe. Enrique, what do you think? Is this media bias? I had to ask you. It's great. Yes, I got to ask you.
Absolutely media bias, man. Come on.
I can't believe I got to ask you that on a show. I've been waiting years. Go ahead.
Yes, that's you know what? I could kind of see why it's at 85, and so here's kind of my
Go ahead.
quick rant on Gears. It starts off great. It looks phenomenal. It's
Yes.
got that core Gears gameplay.
Yes.
But there is a little bit of an issue. Like they are definitely look, I applaud them for taking the risk, but they're still tiptoeing around taking it like open world. And
Agreed.
not to spoil it, but when you get to that point of the game, and this is what I said to Eric in the Brap DM, I said, yeah, there's some pacing issues here. Like when you go from that closed corridor setting, which is great because they've kind of expanded on that a little bit, where you kind of want to go and explore different rooms. And I never wanted to do that in a Gears game, and I applaud them for doing that. But when you go to this open world, I'm going to use the ice level, which everyone's seen in the skiff. The skiff is fun. It's cool to drive around. But some of those side missions resonate with me. I found myself at that point kind of disconnected with the game, especially coming off.
It completely separates you from that main story. It's that far. Like compare it for someone like myself who hasn't gotten that far yet. Okay, and no spoilers here, folks. There's no spoilers. When I did a couple of the side missions for God of War, okay, I felt 75% of them kept me in tune with the game. I did, however, feel that a few of them did make me feel like you just said when you did some side missions aside from the skiff. Like it pulled me a little bit away from it. Is that a them problem? Or is that something that they got to work on? Is it because it's so new to them?
I think that's a them problem. And that's not an easy thing to implement. I think the only game that I played this console gen that really makes side missions not feel disconnected was The Witcher 3.
Right.
But outside of that, I mean, it does. And it's not a look. I know people are like, "Oh, Enrique's being negative." No, it's not a negative. It's just and I'm only bringing this up because I think that's why this game's maybe not at like a 90, because there's that pacing issue that the game does have.
Enrique, real quick, my bad, dude, but I will let before I forget. I wanted to touch base with you on this as well, because you said about like the open areas and stuff, and guys, this is going to be a historic moment on Crossfire, because I am literally going to quote one of the guys from Digital Foundry, because I think he said it best.
Okay.
He related the open area to you remember the second act in the first Halo? It was called Halo. Is when you were dropped down on the Halo. There
Absolutely,
was an area,
I
remember that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
the area where you were riding around on your Warhog, and there was 3 checkpoints that you had to do, but you can do them in any order that you wanted to, right?
Right.
He related that part to what they did in Gears. I don't think, and I see people in the chat, they're like, open world. It should be open world. I don't think they want to go open world, and I'm not sure if that would be the best move.
No, Xbox. I don't think.
Open world.
Yeah, Eric, I don't think people are
Like,
asking
full
for
open
open world, right? Go ahead.
No.
Go
I'm
ahead,
saying
E.
I'm actually okay with it, because what have we been talking about for the last couple of years? God damn, open world fatigue.
Mhm.
Yes.
And when you get into an open
Yeah.
world, you have to really have this balance, because how full is your open world, how empty is your open world, right? And if you're going to take that on, now you're talking about campaigns that can go on for 40, 50 hours, right? Maybe that's where they're trying to get. Maybe they're trying to see what works, what doesn't work, how do people feel about this and feel about that. But I think it would have been maybe a little bit crazy for them to go from like what they did in Gears 4 to just a full-on open world, and maybe not have the things that they want to kind of flesh that out yet. So you kind of dabble in it.
Yeah. The thing is that the smaller sections of the game are done so well, and the narrative is so strong, that when you get into that big open world, it does feel like a little disjointed, and that's why I said the pacing's off. It's not a game. It doesn't kill the game. It just it made me, at least in my opinion, feel a little disconnected. And like,
well,
when
the
you
question
engage,
is, Enrique, I'm sorry, let me cut you off. Do you applaud them for taking the attempt to see where it kind of goes, if they can start implementing that a little bit better?
I think that's where they
Or
get the
do you think they
pass
need
a
to
little
pull it
bit.
back?
No, I do. I mean, it's definitely risky, but it's like they're tiptoeing around it. And I see the criticism where people feel like, well, look, you're either all in, or you're gonna keep the Gears formula of strictly that corridor shooter, and I applaud them for trying something different. I do think, though, that if they're gonna go that semi-open world and I kind of that, like, what people call like Metro Exodus.
Yeah.
I do think, though, with some of those side missions, there needs to be some kind of tie-in, I think, maybe to the main story, and they gotta, like, the combat's gotta have some variety in terms of the side missions. It's still that same Gears trope of you're fighting the swarm,
Yeah.
You're in cover, and that's fine. I get that's Gears of War, but maybe maybe to it somehow and change it then for the side missions. And that would be my only really criticism of the game.
I don't want to leave this subject. I just want to. I have a couple of super chats here. Phil Pyromancer, big supporter of the channel. Phil Pyromancer, thank you for being here tonight. Appreciate it. He says, I've never said wow so many times in 2 hours of playing a game to the end of Act 1 and all 6 years this gen. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And then shout out to Valentine. He says, what's up, homies? Appreciate that, Valentine. Thank you very much. Xbox, go ahead if you have a rebuttal to that.
I actually forgot. I was listening to the Phil Pyromancer thing, and I forgot what I was going to say.
I can't believe Phil Pyromancer has been the biggest Gears fan in the past 48 hours I've ever seen. And you got to remember something. Phil Pyromancer he's clearly a PlayStation fan. He doesn't hide that. He wears it on his sleeve. He always says that up front. But for him and many others, that's kind of where I want to bring this back into the meta issue here a bit, where it sits at 85. I didn't see a lot of people really going back. It seemed like it was almost like an internal. I think Xbox fans wanted this to be a 90 plus, and I didn't see Sony fans really getting. Dude, they got into it afterwards, but they didn't really throw it at first. I think they were kind of saying. I saw a lot of the big guys out there saying, "Listen, guys, just let the Xbox guys enjoy. This is a great game. Let them enjoy that game."
That's kind of
my bad, but PlayStation extremists out there that get in on the whole console war thing, when they saw that Xbox, there were Xbox extremists out there that were upset about the scores, the review scores. They just used whatever fuel.
Well, you give ammo, right?
You give an opening.
You give ammo,
so
right?
They're like, I can't believe guys are turning their nose on an 86 game. That
Go ahead.
Should be great for
Go
them.
ahead,
They're
E.
getting right into it.
Hey, E, can I address something in the live chat after you're done, E?
Yeah. No, because I was just gonna say that when I tuned into Twitter, that's what I was like. Wait a minute, I'm confused here because I expected to see all this trolling going on, right?
Right.
But then I saw like you said, the door was open from the Xbox side of it.
Right.
Like,
that's what I saw.
86?
Myself personally, I said here's what I said. So weeks ago, I can't remember if it was MNC, CrossFire, or Xbox Nation. I don't remember. We did a predictions for Gears 5 where it would sit. I said 86. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then after the preview launched last Friday, I said, you know what? I said this thing's got some legs. I think it's 88, 89. So I mean, because we all you buy into the hype, you know. I mean, it was public.
93.
But this
right.
Wait a minute. This is the 86 is off of the campaign. Like they haven't even factored in because a lot of sites are doing the
campaign.
Like
just to be fair,
to
be fair, just for myself and the audience to know, when somebody asks me, Mooch, what do you think this is going to get? I'm talking me, not them, not what's out there now. I'm talking about me. I do the whole kit and caboodle. That's campaign, multiplayer. I'm telling you, E, I thought this thing was going to be an 86. That's where I had it at originally.
It at 89. Honestly, I had it at 89.
So, I mean, that's fine. I bumped mine to 88, 89 after the previews came out because that's when the open world stuff kind of came out. And that all comes back to what we were saying. They didn't show any of this. We didn't really know any of this for the most part. Some people are like, I knew, Mooch. I watched E3 last year with a monocle. You didn't see that? No, I didn't see it. I must have missed it.
And I gave it the 89 just playing the metagame. Honestly, I don't care. Like, I was like, I'm playing it anyway. I really don't care.
I bought into the hype. I said 93.
Right? Like, I'm in.
Well, because, they added
1993.
That's so great.
So, yeah,
what did you say they added?
No, I'm saying because they added some addition, like they added that new mode, the multiplayer.
They added a lot to the multiplayer.
Change horde. So I was like, it's probably gonna get a 93. But I do want to say something. Somebody said in the live chat, this shows that the industry hates on Xbox. They feel like this game should be over 90. I don't agree with that. I don't think the industry hates Xbox. And 86 is still a good review score. I mean, it's very hard, I think, these days to get 90s. They're not handing 90s out like the way they used to back in the early days.
That's right.
No, and I'll say too, like, no, it's not a thing of hating like on the Xbox, because I've said, and I will maintain forever, when a good game drops, it will get its due, because at the end of the day, gamers will recognize a good game, right? And they will give it its due and give it its props, unless you're just going to be a complete dickhead site and just do it like people were signaling to the 60 or whatever, right? Now, I can't even say that's that guy's opinion. I can't even call him a dickhead for it. It's whatever he wants to say. Go do you, bro. But the whole thing where it's like, it's immediately media bias when something gets a low score, and then it's also, it can't get a fair shake because it didn't get a 90 something. It's like, what are we doing, guys? Is it a good game or is it not a good game? Seems to me across the board, most people are feeling like it's a good game.
Well, let me bring this up. Shout out to Lethal Papa. I don't give him enough credit. Thanks for modding Lethal. That being said, let me say this much. Lethal goes, here's what's a head scratcher, and I got to agree. Would everybody in the panel agree with me right now that Gears 5 is it's kind of leaps and bounds better than Gears 4 in a lot of categories, and yet it sits 1 point higher on meta? I mean, that's interesting, right? I mean, even if you have your critiques of 5 right now, and I think, by the way, me and Enrique spoke offline. I think a lot of Enrique's, his very, very constructive criticism, by the way, he's enjoying the game. But even with
the game,
right? But isn't it odd? Doesn't it show you how just maybe not valid meta is when you say? Because if I said everybody before I did the segment, and I said Enrique, Eric, Xbot, and soon Pred's making his way in now too. Would you guys say that Gears 5's leaps and bounds over 4? I'm pretty sure you guys would say yes. And then I said, don't you? I mean, that getting 1 point higher, that doesn't really justify what we're talking about, right, E?
Right. No, it's very odd. It's very odd. So it kind of goes back to what you just said. Like the whole meta thing is just crazy.
Right.
I
wonder if it's, and I don't know. I had this conversation. Who was I can't remember now who I had it with, but maybe it was Chief Tomei. But it was I was wondering, like, is it a matter of maybe because we're at like this 6, if you include
iteration,
that maybe that there's a little bit of fatigue here.
Yeah.
And that maybe it's like it a 90. It needed to go leaps and bounds. And I hate to bring up God of War because I know a lot of people bring up God of War. But if you look at God of War from the first 3 to Ascension to the God of War today,
the
God of War today is leaps and bounds. I mean, above Ascension. So I wonder if it's some of that is, it's fatigue. And some of the reviews that I read, and while the reviewer gave the game a high praise and said they loved it, I did read a couple of reviews that did mention that fatigue, that they want to see this game really evolve now.
Enrique, and I'm going to really tap into your memory banks here. We spoke about this. Oh God, it was either 2 days ago or it could have been 5 days ago. I don't remember. But what you said, and I'm not going to quote you. I'd rather you say it here. We were talking in the DMs, and you said something along the lines of, you said, Mooch, in order for that to hit that 90, like you're saying right now, that 95, that 93. There has to be a change of maybe the pacing, the scaling. Something has to change in the game. Like you just said, that massive change from Ascensions in God of War to the God of War we played this generation. It's day and night. I mean, even if you were to hand the controller to a non-gamer and let them play God of War 3 remastered and then hand them the God of War we got this generation, I'm pretty sure a non-gamer would go, are you guys sure this is the same game? Right? But
this other guy seems so angry.
Right? But if you hand somebody a controller and say, "Here's Gears of War Judgment," which by most gamers, not critics, but by most gamers was the worst one, and then you handed a non-gamer the controller for Gears 5, they'd be like, "Oh, this is a continuation. Cool, it looks a lot better." You know what I mean? Like that's, I think, the difference here when you get to 6, 7, 8 iterations into the genre, right? You've either got to be extremely risky on the creative side, or you got to kind of say, okay, listen, Gears got an 84. This will probably end up at an 85, 86, which is a natural progression in the right direction. But at the same time, you're not going to escalate to that 90 because it is still, and Xbot, you hate this saying, right? It's more Gears. But it is. That's what it is.
It is, and that's kind of been what the reviews have been saying. And that's, look, it's not a bad thing.
Not at all.
But it's not. There's going to be a little bit of fatigue that starts setting in, and I think we're seeing that with Halo. And it's funny I say this, but people are like, "Oh, what about Mario and Zelda?" Well, if you look at those games,
they've changed.
Nintendo takes tremendous amount of.
Look at Mario Galaxy. You had to play it upside down.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Right? I mean, literally, people. You had to play Mario Galaxy without having a V8 for a week. You're playing at a 45-degree angle. I mean, that's switching. That's ballsy, to be honest. Using some old school terms there. That's ballsy, isn't it? I mean, that's kind of that's radical. And Gears 5, don't get me wrong, it's an absolute stunner. But I don't know. Explain this to me, guys. I'm not far enough along. I'm at a point right now where I'm in Act 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3. I'm hoping to blow through a lot more of it this upcoming weekend. As you can see on the promo, I'm also going to be streaming it this weekend. A lot of the open areas that I've gotten to where you go and look for collectibles, etc., like that. I'm not talking about a side mission. I'm talking about just the collectibles, things like that. They are just they're beautiful. The detail is there, but let's also be honest, guys. It's empty. There's nothing there. So is that something that, again, I saw a couple people in the chat, shout out to them. They were like, listen, Mooch, they're kind of, I think Lito may have said it. I don't know if it was on this subject. He said they're tiptoeing into this new era, which is fine, by the way. But is it enough?
I do think it's definitely if they're going to expand the Gears world, like if they're going to make it like open world, I'm not gonna say it's going to be truly open world. I think it's going to be more along the lines like Metro Exodus or like what we see in Uncharted, give us that illusion that it's open world. If they do that, I think this is a good starting point for them. I want to say one thing quick because I don't think we've driven home the narrative piece. The narrative in this game really shines. And let me tell you something. I was not a big fan of JD.
Right.
I actually like JD now.
I told you that was going to happen to you.
Yeah,
well, that first act, they took JD, but for even the small amount I've played thus far.
Mooch. Wednesday night, Enrique was like, yo, screw this dude. Fuck, I can't stand him. He's a whiny little punk. I said, something tells me, I don't know why, but something tells me you're going to come back. And that's going to be your guy.
No, I mean, they have fleshed him. Let me tell you something. They have fleshed out these characters. I mean, even Kate, it's funny. We're talking about, Mooch, we're talking about, I keep thinking about Rambo's daughter.
I know, you like that?
Yeah, it's great. It's like, and how you feel maybe that she was, maybe rushed. I forget what we're talking about. Like maybe she wasn't the ideal protagonist, I think, for the franchise at the time. But
right.
Even now with her story out, her background, that you really connect with her.
I got to tell you, I wish I played more of it. I got to tell you, even the little bit where Kate's having those nightmares in the beginning of the game, there's no spoilers here. This is the very beginning of the game. She's having those nightmares, and you can see she goes, I'm fine. And you got Dell turns around, and he goes, you're not even strapped in. She's about to jump out the hell. That's how much her head is getting consumed by these thoughts, right? I got to be honest with you. Very impressed. I'm very impressed.
That alone, I was like, that you can already see the
right?
tone and how they changed dramatically.
That was some Hollywood shit. I liked it.
Yes,
it was. Done with Marcus. Marcus went from being in the first few games being sort of like the meathead jock, like razor hail and all this stuff, to like he's having like one-on-one moments like with Kate, kind of saying, hey,
yes,
all right. And just the expression and the emotion and the fatherly figure type stuff, it's like
Marcus he's accepted his position as kind of like consultant almost, Yeah.
What? He feels like that. And I actually don't, at this point in the game where I'm at, Marcus for me is an afterthought.
That's
which is interesting.
Boy, that's an interesting point.
Was like they put him so back out in front, it's like they couldn't let go.
Oh, I'm trying to be careful here because I don't want to spoil it for anyone. But for Lee, I'm going to say he's an afterthought for me right now. Dell, what they did with Dell as a character, right, from what I played,
yes,
have fleshed him out. It's someone that you want to get to know. You want to play with him. You're looking forward to see what they're going to do with him maybe in the next years.
They started the game with him, There's even that little. I haven't played it, so.
Hey, shout out to everybody. Welcome, Predator H2O. Pred, welcome to the show, buddy. Great to have you here.
But they started like the intro with him. Like that's not the character you kind of expected to start with,
Right.
Well, Pred, why didn't they bring these?
Right,
No, I was just gonna say, and I'll give you the mic right back. Why didn't they start what we love now so much about Dell and JD? They could have started, I thought, some of this in 4. Just to kind of get you into the character development.
I not touch the game. I played like the opening sequence, and I was like, let me go spend some time with the wife, and I'll come back and play this tonight. So I haven't gotten anywhere near where you guys are at. I just barely played that opening sequence where you kind of go through the tutorial. So I'll be in it tonight. But that was the first thing I noticed. Like, why we start with him? Like, why this guy? And from the trailers I've seen and stuff like that. So to me, it's almost like they're setting up Dell's character for something later, maybe.
Okay.
That's just my guess initially off the bat. The fact
I agree with you.
Yeah, they did that in the tech test. Like if you did the tech test, you can go through, stuff like that. But you could definitely see even when they did the 2018 reveal trailer, like it was like Kate and Dell. I'm like, seems to me like they really answered the call where people are like, what the hell was Dell there for in the 4th game? Except for a little bit of comic relief and, sort of like the tag-on character. So it seemed like they definitely wanted to flesh that out as well, But this kind of leads back to what you initially said, Mooch, about the raising the bar part. And you automatically see that they're trying to add that super heavy dramatic effect that you've seen in other games that, are considered AAA titles.
Well, yeah, I mean, let's just call it what it is.
Great
I mean,
point.
Uncharted 4 introduced, Nathan Drake's brother. And we were all kind of like, where the hell did this guy come from? Right?
Right.
And I mean, I thought that was a negative before I played it, but they managed to work him in. And if they can do that with Dell, and shout out to Future Kill Xbox in the chat, he says would have lost the impact of 5, Mooch. If basically he was saying, shout out to Thumbs too. He says, I came late to the show. Where's the harmonica? Crap Gamer had something to take care of with family, so he will be back next Friday. But the harmonica, Enrique, I apologize. I apologize to Thumbs as well.
I'm disappointed.
Yes, there's always next week for the harmonica.
I want to say something about the Metacritic scores. I'm thinking about this game as we're talking about it, and I'm thinking about how great the story is. I love the story. There's so much lore from Gears in this game.
Yes.
I mean, it's just amazing. And now I'm thinking, wait a minute, like 1 point higher? Like, I wouldn't give it 1 point higher. That's my opinion. But this game is the best game I've played this console gen on the Xbox.
I can't help but agree with you.
What I played so far, if the rest of it is like this going all the way in, I mean,
hopefully better than Crackdown 3.
I mean, Coalition proved that as a developer, they understand how to make something beautiful, how to start kind of getting that dramatic effect type thing going, which people seem to resonate with in games these days.
They put 343 on notice, D.
So
but that's what Xbox was saying. That's what you have to like. It's already on record that these studios are talking to each other, that they're sharing things, and that's what we know about some of the Sony studios. Is like they share, they talk, but they also push each other.
Yeah, very competitive.
So here's
like, we see what you guys.
I got a question for you guys. This is gonna light the whole show on fire right here. This is what I'm thinking about. What if because right now everybody's playing Gears, right? Because everybody's playing because they bought it for 99 cents. My point is that right? It's the truth of the matter. Do you think somebody at Xbox is like, yo, we got one here. This is hot. This is the game we've been waiting for all generation. Wouldn't they want
because they're talking.
Right. Wouldn't you think that they wanted to make $60 off of these things and sell 10 million of them? They would have made a lot more money.
Yeah, that's it. That's it's funny. Matt Piscatella tweeted something out. I don't know if you saw Mooch.
I didn't.
He's like up until this point, the data's shown that games that that are on Game Pass.
Yeah.
That they do well, right? They sell better, retail, whatever the case is. He's like, but this is unique because now you have a situation where you're getting a game, the Ultimate Edition, you're getting it early prior to retail release, and you're only paying $1 for it. How's that going to impact retail, like the official retail?
Right.
When it launches next week. So that's going to be interesting.
It's almost like when you bet everything you got and you see that last card and you think you get like 2 pair. And then, pardon me, you don't bet. You fold, and you had 2 pair. And all of a sudden, that last card folds, and all of a sudden, it was going to be 3 of a kind, or it was going to be full house. My point being is, this is something where they're like, oh, shit, if we just held out a little longer. I mean, I think that they would have made an absolute killing. If and this is what I said. Why didn't Xbox double dip? Why not have Gear? Hear me out, guys. And I know everyone out there in the chat right now is saying, come on, it's a great value. Of course it's a great value. The only thing you can get for 99 cents other than this is a really, really crappy Wendy's double bacon cheeseburger. All right? So, and that's not good. It's not great. It's not great.
10-piece,
right? A 10-piece?
10-piece nuggets at Burger King.
Oh, don't go there, Enrique. I broke those open. That's all bread. There's no chicken. Listen, here's the thing. All right? So, my problem with this is why not have Gears 5 come out? Why not let everybody who wants to be in the now, all the YouTube stuff, all the stuff on Twitter, I got to be in the now. I want to let people know. I'm going to tweet it out. Social media is hot, hot, hot. Get the $60 3 months from now. Or you know what? Screw that. No, let's be more consumer friendly. 30 days. 30 days from now, it goes into Game Pass. I'm telling you right now, it's just unbelievable. I guarantee you somebody at Xbox was like, we should have waited 30 days. I mean, what do you think?
They're probably banking that this is going to drive people to what they ultimately want.
Subscriptions.
Yeah. They you got to believe they're banking on that. Like, okay, we're going to put that. I mean, that's why else would you put, your first party games, your big AAA exclusives,
right?
Day one. And even Forget day one, a week before retail, if you get the ultimate subscription. That's the big thing for them to drive subscriptions. I don't think they're really concerned about, how many copies of the game they sold now.
Is there like that spillover? Because if you think about it, if we're just going to use the small sample size of our side of Twitter, like everybody's kind of on fire about this game, right?
Yes.
And something I have not seen from them for a while. That's what I said. I do feel like you look at how Sony does. Like when they know when they got one, you could tell they knew they had one with God of War. That shit was everywhere. They couldn't stop talking about God of War, right? I'm sort of seeing a little bit of that where it comes to Gears of War.
Absolutely.
Gears,
2 weeks early.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm sitting here, something I haven't seen in a while. I'm sitting here watching the Chicago Green Bay game last night.
Yes.
I see the trailer, for Break the Chain.
Fire was that trailer though. So good.
But they nailed the heart of what those trailers have always done. I'm sitting there watching Hulu one night. I saw the more recent, the full-length trailer pop up, right? And then they tagged it with the Game Pass thing. And those are all the things that we've been talking about. Like, you keep talking to us about it, but what are you talking to the outside audience about, right? So does it start the snowball effect? Like here we are, we're all talking it up. We're feeling good about it. The outlets start talking it up, feeling good about it. That starts spilling over into the casual side of things. They're like, you have people who maybe walked away from Gears after maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Maybe they come back now. You have people who are like, I've never even heard of Gears.
It's funny though, and this kind of branches off of the Gears 5 subject into the Game Pass, but like I did a little bit of in Xbox. You guys are wondering, Xbox 448's having an awful time right now getting his internet. His internet kind of just popped out. He's working. He's writing me right now. He's like, Mooch, I'm trying to get back in there. But, Xbox always does a census of people. And listen, guys, take this with a grain of salt because I encourage you all to do the same thing with your family and friends. But I constantly ask all my casual friends that, like I said, Xbox was talking about it and we didn't get to it yet. NBA 2K came out 20 as of recent as well. And, they're going to get that. And I'm like, guys, why don't you get Game Pass? It's $1.99 right now. 2 months. You can play Gears. We can all, jam out and play some Gears multiplayer, go through the campaign. And they're like, honestly, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to sign up. I'm going to forget that I have it, and then it's a monthly fee, and they're like, I'm trying to get out of the monthly thing. Because, that was the cool thing 5 years ago, right? I can get $10 a month. I got 10. I can throw 10 anywhere I want. But the problem is from 5 years ago and moving towards the future, everything is going to $10, $15 a month, and it adds up quick, folks. And you guys know that. So anyone that's shaking their head no, as they're shaking their head no, Mooch, you don't know what you're talking about. They look left and they see a stack of bills that they owe for $10 this month. It's like, it's there, and we're all doing it. So I think a lot of people are also concerned saying, listen, I'm a casual. I buy 1-2 games a year. Maybe those games aren't even in Game Pass. It's not for me. If I want Gears, I'll go buy it or I'll wait till Black Friday and I'll get it for $30. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying, though, is what they lost, and it's just my opinion. I don't know if I'm right or wrong here, but the Game Pass folks that are utilizing Game Pass are all the people that bought this game for $60 to $100, depending on the type of game. Like I would have bought the $60 base one, but Crap, for example, he would have bought the Gears 5 Ultimate Edition that comes with a flying saucer and something else in it. I don't know, the $110, right? There's 100, there's 150, then there's one for $250 where Rod Ferguson comes over and makes you a martini in your house. My point being is, okay, people buy these things, and now they're not. They're not. And
full
go
disclosure,
ahead.
I mean, I bought the Ultimate Edition because I'm an Alex Ross fan and I wanted that steel book.
Yes.
And I still had some Gamers Club unlocked left with Best Buy, right? So I picked
it's
it
the
up,
hardcore that buy those $100 ones,
right.
You
and
know?
The console, like the hardcore are going to run it. I mean, I don't think a casual's going to run out and buy that console, because, especially if they don't really know about Gears like that or whatever.
No.
So you're right. You got a point there. It's sort
of and that's my point. That's what I'm saying. So I think when they said, Game Pass, in order for Game Pass to be the Netflix, if you will, I don't know if Xbox wants it to be that reference. In order for it to be the Netflix of gaming, you need the casuals. Okay? I'm a casual Netflix consumer. I say this all the time. There's all you guys that are like, Mooch, you're crazy. All I do is watch Netflix. You didn't see Jimmy jumps over the beanstalk? It's a great show. Just started last, right? It's only season 13. You can catch up, Mooch. No, I can't. I can't catch up. So, I mean, my problem with this is I don't watch any of that stuff. So I'm a casual. I still pay them, okay, $12 a month or whatever it is. I'm paying them because I can't wait for Umbrella Academy 2. I can't wait for Stranger Things 4, right? That's a me problem. But the thing is, the casual gamer, I can't get any of my friends that are, air quotes, casual gamers to get into another monthly subscription when they say, dude, I only play this game. Why? I don't care if Devil May Cry 5 is in there.
No
Go
one
ahead.
ever thinks about is like I have Netflix, right? I have my daughter has an account, my wife has an account. It's all under one umbrella. I'm not paying much more to get them under that. Whereas with this, like everybody has their own, like Game Pass. Everybody has like unless you game share, whatever.
Right.
Like everybody has to have their own account. It doesn't work the same.
That's a good point, man.
It's a good
You know,
point.
that's what makes Netflix so popular is because I can give it to my sister, I can give it to my brother-in-law. You know, like they can all have their own account, and only one person has to pay for it. Whereas with
Facts.
Game Pass, you got to pay that $14 a month, and maybe two of you can use it. You know, if you're game sharing with somebody else, and that's it. So I think that's what makes it popular. Plus, you know, the one thing like how you say you can't get the casuals involved in it, like. One thing about Game Pass that people don't realize is that Microsoft puts other games in there besides just their own.
Yeah.
Whereas you have Ubisoft, you have EA doing it. It's just their games.
Right.
They're not adding anything else unless it's up under their umbrella, which is the biggest difference and what I think is what's going to make Game Pass more successful than the other ones.
Right.
Because they're just putting in their games, and they only release like 3 games a year. They're not filling it in with fluff or anything like that. Like the casual games that someone may or may not play. And you add in, you know, if the xCloud thing works, that's even better because now you can play all that shit on the go. I mean, I see where they're going with it. It's just it's hard to get
You see, here's the thing though, Pred. You see where they're going with it, but we all have a hard time seeing them get to that point, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, shout out to G-Man1172. He goes, come on, Devil May Cry 5. If I said Devil May Cry 5 is in Game Pass right now, somebody would be like, oh my God, Pacino and Keanu made a sequel to Devil's Advocate. I mean, you know what I mean? They don't know what's going on. They just don't. And that's the thing. I don't know if they're getting the point across with Game Pass. Yeah, it's
like,
not.
They don't advertise it. And like I see more marketing for Gears, and that's why it's such a huge thing. Why amazing what marketing does, right? Like it's all over the internet right now. I mean, it's a new hype game right now. But I'm seeing advertisements for it everywhere this last week. And like before this, we all were talking about where the fuck is the advertising?
Yeah.
They finally brought it, and you see, like, not only did they bring it, but they brought it out when the game released, but everyone's talking about it right now. And let's see if it carries over the next couple of weeks. But like I love what they're doing in this small sample size, how they did the advertising, I think still late, but the advertising I'm seeing is really good.
Hey, Pred, real quick, a lot of people in the audience are asking if you could put your mic up or speak
You want me to
close.
put it like right here in my mouth?
Wow, that was great.
Yeah, that's what
I want to hear a Barry White reference right now. That's awesome.
CrossFire just went late night.
He did.
Welcome to the
right.
show.
It's great. It's perfect, Fred.
The quiet store.
Let me fix something real quick. Hold on a second.
Hey,
No,
but
go ahead, do your thing.
What Predator's saying is true in that regard. It's like if you think about it, Mooch, we're all early.
We are early. Yes.
Early adapters.
You know what I'm saying? So this really truly doesn't hit the masses until next week.
That's true.
So,
that's a good point.
Yeah. So I mean, you talk about rollout. Now, if you want to see something like Game Pass go into the stratosphere, if you can get something day and date like 2K in there, then it'd be like everybody and their mom probably running toward it.
Yeah.
So here,
possible.
let me.
Is that better, guys?
So-
you hear me better?
Yes, absolutely,
Yeah, for sure,
Fred. Let me just say this much. So here's something that's interesting too, and everybody knows that the Xbox like store and everything has a bit of a hard time. So I went down to I game share with my son, right? Naturally, a lot of people do that in their family, and I go down and he said to me, "I can't get Gears 5 to download." I said, "You got to go to Game Pass." He's like, "I'm in Game Pass." So I go down there and I take a look at it and I click on Game Pass, and it says, it basically an ad comes up saying, this is how much Ultimate it is. This, would you like to subscribe to Ultimate? And I'm like,
I did the same thing.
right?
I know exactly what you're about to say.
So what I had to do was I backed out and I just went to the store, typed in Gears 5 Ultimate, and then it said install because you have Game Pass. But it doesn't say it right. Listen, here's the thing, guys. We podcast all week. We talk on Twitter all day. I don't know how we get any work done. Right? We talk games all day long. God bless all of us. And my point being is, we're still going, no, you got to do this. And then someone's like, no, that's not how you do it. Like, no, that's how you do it. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, Mooch. It's not working. So my point is they got to get it so that Game Pass not only is in your face, but is also easy to access, right? It's got to get easier.
Here's the issue I had, right? So I have Game Pass Ultimate, like, and maybe it was just me not reading it between the lines. So like, I saw everything where it was going to be in Game Pass 5 days early, right? That's
Yes.
all I saw.
Yep.
It didn't say you had to pre-order the game. And you guys are like, "What are you talking about?" Like, I literally had to go and chat with this. If you I could not get into the game on the 5 days early. I had to wait till the 4 days early. Like, the way they advertised it was like, if you had Game Pass Ultimate, you get it. I guess it would have been Thursday.
Right.
That's right.
And so, no, that's only if you pre-ordered the Ultimate Edition and had Game. I'm like, why would you like? It made no sense to me. But like, I just rolled with it, and I was like, I'll just play it tomorrow then. But like, I saw everywhere 5 days, and I didn't read in between the lines and see that it was really 4 days and 5 days from other people. But like, that's that message was wrong. Like, I think it not only confused me, because when I was talking to the guy on Xbox in the chat, he said, we've had so many contacts about this today. And that's like, well, that's on y'all. Like, you should have messaged that a little bit better. Like, at least put it where everyone can see it, you know?
Right. No, I completely agree with that. I mean, I do want to say this much. I mean, what do you think about the folks? Here we are sitting here, and it's funny because everybody, again, on Twitter and everybody on the panel tonight, and a lot of people in the audience right now that are listening to the show. Shout out to everybody that's here. Guys, please do hit that like button. We're over 100 likes. That's fantastic. Please do hit the subscribe button and the little bell there, too, if you're new to the channel. I do want to say this much, though. We're talking about it on the Xbox One X, right, which is basically a miniature, powerful computer. We know that. Everybody knows that's a PC for all practical purposes. But what about the people that are playing Gears 5 this upcoming Tuesday or playing currently, and they're playing it on the OG Xbox One? How are they going to right? How are they going to How are they going to how are they going to feel when they're sitting next to somebody like, you know, maybe E is hanging out with somebody at work and he's like, this might be the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. And the other guy's like, are we talking about the same game? You know what I mean? So, I mean, E, what do you think about that? Is this a you know, upgrade? That's a you problem?
Hey, I'm gonna shout out Lord Attic from the Iron Lords, because he tweeted about this very thing earlier today, because he said, you know, he was having issues. He said if he had this game like a year or so ago, he probably would have copped an X. He's playing on an S, and he's like, he has Kiss Move doing some other things like loading in and doing this other stuff, and he's like, I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what happened, right?
His S is barely keeping up, you know. So yeah, that's like,
Shout out to Addict and Kiss Move. That's cool, man. Honestly, to be honest with you, I'll be real. That is an issue, and I know Crap always gives the example. But when PUBG was a big thing, not like it is now, and we were playing. Shout out, by the way, to the subscription to Ryan Landis. I appreciate that sub to the channel. Thank you. You know, we were playing with Graves, and he streams a lot on Mixer. And we'd be like, let's go. And he's like, dude, I'm not loaded in yet. There's no doors on the house. I don't see anything to pick up. You know, and it was like, this is
naked.
I mean, is this an issue when we move forward? I mean, this isn't going to end. You know, you go, well, Mooch, why don't you just calm down, dude? This is not a problem moving forward. It is, because Scarlet with Halo Infinite, we're all going to have Scarlets on this panel, right? And then all of a sudden, somebody's going to have an Xbox One S, and they told them they're going to enjoy that experience. What do you think, Enrique?
Like, look at Control. Like, Controls has terrible frame rate issues on the base, like vanilla PlayStation 4 and Xbox One S. You have to have an Xbox One X or at a minimum a PlayStation 4 Pro to actually enjoy that game without some of the issues at the. But yeah, this is going to be an issue. It's funny. Like, I had this conversation with someone about this. Like, oh no, it's going to be fine. It's going to be like PC. Everything's going to be kumbaya. You know, everything's going to be. You know, no one's going to be no gamer left behind. I'm like, it's not going to work like that. It's not going to work like that.
It can't.
The thing I said, it may be supported, but is anybody going to be happy with that?
You might be able to play it at 15 frames a second and some terrible screen tearing.
Your console's going to tell you you can't play in these reindeer games.
You know? What'd you say, Predator 700p?
792p. That's what Digital Foundry said.
Well, let's talk about this, guys, because this is still on the Gears 5 topic train here, and this is something that I really want to dive into. Me and Enrique were kind of talking about it behind the scenes earlier in the week, and when we started looking at numbers, it didn't look good, but I want to get your guys' opinion. I'll start with Eric Jackson. Eric, explain this to me. Ninja gets picked up by Microsoft. Okay, great, right? This is good. brings attention to Mixer. Myself personally, I think Ninja must have got paid handsomely because his numbers don't even come close to his Twitch numbers. But whatever. Brings visibility. I still think as far as marketing, not a bad idea. Then you see the tweet come out in the morning. Join me tonight. First time ever. First time we're going to show, which, it's funny. He was like, I'm going to show campaign first, which everybody had already seen it. A lot of YouTubers had already gotten video of it and this and that, whatever. But he's like, we're going to show it first, this and that. And I think the highest number I saw was 17,500 watching him live. Now, this man was getting 65 to 80,000 on Twitch when Fortnite was, and it's like when people were like, is Fortnite dead? Okay, that's when he was getting 65 to 80,000. This is a new game promoting a new streaming service, right? And one of the biggest names, there's people that are at his level. One of the biggest names. I got to be honest with you. If I'm Microsoft, I look left and right in the boardroom and I'm like, this is not what I wanted. I wanted 50,000 plus. This guy was getting 65 to 80,000 before a new map came out when it was just plain Blow Joe getting Fortnite, whatever. Now, do they realize maybe what they thought they were going to have with somebody who could have promoted Gears and Halo, that they really just picked up a very expensive Fortnite and Battle Royale player?
And that's the question. Like Enrique actually brought this up in our DM. We were kind of talking about it. And we had some people kind of say, well, that's very high. Those numbers are very high for Mixer as a platform. And full disclosure, like I don't watch that many streams or follow that many streamers. So I don't really know how those things equate. So I know Ninja's big because my mom knows Ninja's big. There you go, right?
That's right.
So you got to give the guy his due.
Absolutely. I'm a big fan, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Right. So what I kind of looked at it was, okay, that's a low number. So is this people who are going to play the game, not really checking them because they don't want to see the campaign themselves because they're planning on playing it. But then I was like, okay, so does that mean he's basically broadcasting to the echo chamber? Right. Or the echo chamber, I should say.
Right.
That's kind of how I took it, right? And those 17,000 are part of his audience who maybe didn't really rock with Gears. I don't know. Will it pick up if he's going to do multiplayer streams? I don't know. Then again, is it like, are people only here again for him for Fortnite? So your question is absolutely valid. Are people sitting back like,
But think about it, you go out and grab, okay, somebody like a Ninja, which is kind of like going out with the Mets. I got to use the Mets because I'm a diehard Met fan. The Mets went out through 2-3 years ago. We picked up Yoenis Cespedes for $25 million a year, okay? Let me tell you what Yoenis Cespedes has been doing this past year. He's played as much baseball professionally as you have, okay? But he's getting $25 million. What I'm saying to you right now is they went out and signed Yoenis Cespedes, and what their intention was is they wanted him to bunt, right? This man doesn't bunt. So my problem here is that you've got a guy with talents like Ninja that's got an amazingly huge audience that will follow and buy and do. You can see Adidas signed him. He's got a following like unbelievable. But then you take a game like Gears 5, which is a massive game. And it's doing great, and it's going to do great, by the way. And you see 17,500. If I'm Microsoft, I go, that, my friend, that's not the numbers I wanted. I wanted to hit 50,000. I wasn't even trying. Listen, I'm trying to be fair here, okay?
Well, it doesn't equate to the App Store downloads that people were talking about and bragging about.
Oh, well, the thing is, though, see, that's the other thing, too. That's another.
Top, right?
It is. Well, that's another subject, though, because if you look at his, Ninja, he tweets out every so often. He's like, I got 2 million followers now. And that's great, or whatever, subscribers. But Microsoft's giving, like, that away for free. It's kind of like on Twitch, you have Twitch Prime. So if you have an Amazon Prime membership, okay, and I'm streaming this Sunday for Gears, by the way, this is a big, nice little promo for myself. If you'd like to come over, by the way, and give me your Twitch Prime member, right? I get $5. But you get that $5. That $5 goes to Ninja, but Microsoft is putting up the bill. All you're doing, is clicking, okay, doesn't cost you a nickel. So when he says I got 2 million subscribers, Microsoft's paying Ninja. They're paying him, not the consumer. Now, once that runs out and then you have to pay, that's when things change. His numbers may drop, but he's already been paid, so Ninja doesn't care. I get that. But that's kind of an issue. That's kind of an issue, I think, as far as what they wanted. They wanted all those Fortnite people to be watching Gears 5, and they didn't come.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, One Bad Mother in live chat says, basically Gears isn't Ninja's audience, and I get that.
I get
But
it.
isn't that the point of bringing Ninja over though? So you
Right.
can bring more eyes. I mean, regardless if
Yes.
they like if Gears is quote unquote what his audience would watch. You pay all this money for a big celebrity like this. It's to bring eyes to your platform. And 17,000, I was shocked.
Well, here's another question: like, who's streaming Gears right now that's not named Ninja, and how many streamers are watching him?
I don't know. I know Rad Brad did something on YouTube, and his YouTube channel, the footage that he has up right now on YouTube, has like over 700,000 views.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean on Mixer. I mean, that's on Mixer.
So wait, Pred, your question is who on Mixer is also streaming Gears 5, and what's the next number besides Ninja?
Yeah.
I can tell you this much. Without knowing, it's substantially lower.
Yeah, and so like
not even close.
Yeah, and my thing is no one will be watching it on Mixer if it wasn't for him.
I'm not seeing the spike on Mixer that I think Microsoft wanted to see. And I don't mean just Gears. I mean just Mixer, period.
I'll say this.
Investment.
There's probably 17,000 more people watching people stream Gears on Mixer because they would have been watching that shit on Twitch somewhere. It's like...
Well, that's the thing. That's what it kind of boils down to. I think a lot of people thought also by Ninja going over to Mixer, maybe some of the other big names on Twitch would follow suit. But why would they? Because they're not just that, but why would they come over when they're gonna absorb Ninja's audience? So their numbers are going to go up. Mixer's got a lot of problems. I 2 or 3 people were streaming this past week, and I got into it 5 months ago. I caught the streaming bug. Shout out to Jay, the Matrix Gamer, who helped make all this happen too here. He helped a lot with me and the creative genius of what's going on right here on what you're seeing on this overlay. But my point being is that, Twitch just seems like a better product. Overall, it works for not just for the streamer, but for the viewer. And I think Microsoft has a long way to come. And I got to be honest with you, I think that's the problem when it comes to Mixer.
Well, what they should have done, instead of just getting one person, they should have got like 4.
Yes.
Should have went after all the big names and scooped them all up because
they got Rad Brad.
Did they get Rad? Yeah, I mean, if they just picked up like Rad Brad,
Ninja,
and there's one guy that's like really.
Well, I don't think Dr. Disrespect fits Microsoft's new terms of conditions. That's why the reason I like Dr. Disrespect is because he's so himself, and he's free to do what he wants to do.
You want in a streamer, right? But outside of Microsoft's policies, had they picked up people like that all at once and they say, "Look, we want all y'all to come," all those fan bases would have kind of switched over to Mixer, but they only got one person. They singled out one specific person, and we don't know if they went after these other people or not. But if you're gonna go that route and start recruiting people to come to your platform, you just don't recruit one. You recruit multiple people. That way, you get all a mixture of because not everybody watches Rad Brad, not everybody watches Ninja, not everybody watches Dr. Disrespect. But if you get all 3 of them, you pay them.
You got to go over there, right?
You got to, yeah.
But here's the thing.
You ain't got to worry about what you're just saying about.
And I hope my numbers are right. This is all literally after just browsing and watching different things that are online. Ninja had about 14 million subscribers or followers, if you will. Subscribers, pardon me, I believe. One or the other. Let's say followers, because it's different between YouTube and Twitch. I believe he had 14 million followers. Now he's got 2 million over at Mixer. I mean, he's not even close. So it's not, again, Ninja's not sad. Nobody, don't take this the wrong way. He was paid handsomely. He's fine. But
again, you got to remember, there's a lot of fickle people out there. They're like, well, you're going to go to the Microsoft platform. I'm not going to watch you ever again. And,
Well, there's that. There is that. Yeah, that's true. That is true.
So he was only doing it that night? It was not a continuous thing?
He's just doing that night. I don't know, guys.
See, that's kind of crazy too, though. I'm kind of like, yo, we dropped this bag on you. We need a few nights here.
Yeah.
What do you think, Enrique?
I know people are saying in the live chat that it's too early to kind of make a judgment on whether or not this deal pays.
I don't think it's too early.
But I'm like, like someone used a baseball analogy, it's like you put up money, you put up millions of dollars, and this guy has the kind of backing that he does, and the way that fans are talking about the signing of Ninja, it was like the second coming of Christ. I mean, it was I get that he's like a celebrity, but I mean, were people just watching Ninja because they liked Fortnite and they liked Apex Legends. That was the other game that he was streaming. You know,
Well, he did well when he was on Twitch, Enrique. Yeah. He did well with Apex Legends. It's Battle Royale, and I'm not saying he's not just Fortnite. He's kind of type. What they call in Hollywood is typecast.
That's where I was going. It's exactly what I was going to say. Like, so is it a matter of that his fans really like the battle royale genre, and now that he's gone, like, you know what, we're going to watch someone else. And when they signed him, he wasn't even like in the top 10, I think, of Twitch streamers. I think in terms of popularity or whatever it was.
Right.
And he was like number 11.
And what are his numbers on average? Like when he's just doing his Fortnite thing on Mixer? I
don't know. You know, he did do a Minecraft, and it was like 50,000 on Mixer.
That got a lot, but Minecraft. I mean, I got to be honest with you. You can do an Enrique, Mooch, Crap, E, and Pred show, and we can get a lot of people on Minecraft. I mean, Minecraft just gets a lot of people. Fortnite gets a lot of people.
I guarantee you, he's on the stream Bleeding Edge. That looks like a game for his type.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. That's true. I think his numbers will be decent there. I don't think that'll help the game's success.
Million, but it'll be a little bit better.
I just don't think that'll help the game's success overall. You know, I do want to say this much, guys. I want to change subject slightly. Nintendo Direct wowed a lot of people yesterday. I know I'm kind of making that left turn here, but we're approaching the 8:30 time frame here.
We've all talked about Gears the whole time,
right? It's Gears. This is Gears weekend. Yeah, it's Gears weekend. But I mean, Nintendo Direct was that was not a little show. I don't know if you guys saw it or what, but myself personally, I thought it was kind of big. They said that Overwatch is going to the Switch, which, you know, a lot of people are excited about that. And I mean, I'm not an Overwatch fan. I think I've stated that many shows in a row. But now you say Overwatch on Switch and Nintendo's online. What do you guys think? I mean, are you guys excited about this?
I'm not an Overwatch guy, and I don't.
You know, I mean,
it's a big get for Switch.
The big thing that came out of that for me was them bringing Super NES games.
I was just gonna say that. That's a big one for me. That's a big boy for me. To be able to get those 20 games that they're promising SNES games, it's fantastic. And I mean, I don't know if you, Enrique, did you see this or you did not?
Didn't watch the stream live, but I did see, some of the announcement they made. And the SNES thing was like the big one for me.
The games they listed here, guys, I did take a picture of it, and so I can
Luigi,
just let you guys.
That's my big one.
Well, Luigi's Mansion 3 is probably that's gonna be my favorite Nintendo game of this year. But the Nintendo Switch games you get now, you have to be online. You have to be part of the Nintendo Online, which I believe is, I want to say it's $20 a year.
Yeah,
I believe. Right?
$20, yep.
Well, here's the games you get, guys. Brawl Brothers, Demon's Cast, Joe and Mac 2, Kirby's Dream Land 3, Star Fox, Super EDF, Earth Defense Force, Super Mario Kart, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, Super Puyo Puyo 2, Super Tennis, Breath of Fire, F-Zero. By F-Zero is fantastic. I can't get enough of that. Kirby's Dream Course. I like how I showed my son one time I was playing F-Zero. I'm like, now this is where it all began. And he's like, well, I'm glad it ended. And he's like, I'm glad it ended. All right. Right? Nostalgia's a hell of a drug. Kirby's Dream Course, Pilot Wings, Stunt Race FX, Super Ghouls and Ghosts. That's got me written all over it. Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Super Soccer, and The Legend of Zelda. I believe it's A Link to the Past. So there you go, guys. Listen, let me tell you guys something real quick here. There's no way you can really argue with $20 a year. I don't, even if 3 of those games met your fancy, how do you get mad at $20 a year for that? I mean, this is nostalgia. I mean, if you're our age, you know, I could see somebody being 19 listening to the show going, Mooch, your nostalgia is affecting your mind. But what do you guys think? I mean, is that something that I thought the SNES games were great, and that's just the beginning.
Yeah, I think that's some of their biggest hitters when it comes to Super NES.
Now, they did say, though, I will say this much. What they were doing before this announcement is they were giving NES games every month. And I believe they were doing anywhere from 5 to 8 games. I don't know what it was. Say 5 to 10 for conversation. I never actually counted them because they always varied month to month. They said now that they're doing SNES games, the monthly giveaways are over. So what they're basically saying is now they're going to have, giveaways every so often. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be, let's say 3 times a month you'll get 20 games. Or 4 times a month, maybe every quarter. But I'm okay with that if they're better games. I've been saying that about with games with gold, to be honest with you guys. Games with gold, it's so watered down. I said, I'd almost rather it was every other month and you make it a game I want to play. So I mean, what do you, Brad? What do you think? I know
downloaded games with gold game, and God knows how long.
you know. It's just.
I just look at them like, nope, don't want that.
I haven't done it either in a while.
But I'm just like, nope, I don't even waste my time with that. That's too much hard drive space. Fuck that. Nope.
Predator Game Pass is kind of like overtaking that for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to Slow Mo Backstop. I couldn't get him on the show. It was so funny because I tried a bunch of people too to get tonight, and between work and between, of course, Gears 5, naturally. It's Slow Mo's a big fan of what is that game? You guys, you both know it because you guys talked about it on Brap a million times. Astral Chain, I believe it is.
Astral Chain,
right?
yes.
So you have Astral Chain, which looks
Banger.
phenomenal. It looks phenomenal.
Great game.
Luigi's Mansion 3. You got Link's Awakening coming out, I believe, next week. That nobody's talking about it in our circuit, but I'll tell you right now. Somehow, here's what's happening on Mooch's schedule. In case you guys give a shit, I'm gonna go ahead and beat Gears 5. I'm gonna get that out of the way because I want to get that going. I want to get that done. I want to play it. I want to experience it with no hiccups, issues, or any kind of like caveat in between. You guys know that Borderlands 3 comes out next Friday, right? And
oh, yes.
like I'm telling you right now, I might play it with that mask on my face. That's how excited I am for Borderlands 3. But Link's Awakening comes out too. So I'm kind of I'm torn here. You know, I'm going to be playing Borderlands 3 nonstop, and then I'll also be playing Link's Awakening here and there on the go. What do you guys think? What are you guys doing as far as next week goes? Are you guys just are you guys Gears 5ing it straight through multiplayer and saying the hell with Borderlands and Link's Awakening, or are you guys all in on that?
No, I already have Link's Awakening pre-ordered, so I'll be rocking on.
Nice. See, I didn't see that coming from you at all.
Oh no, I'm on the Nintendo way.
He's the only guy I know that loves Devil's Third, so I'll leave it at that.
Hey, that's not true. Alcoholic likes it too.
Oh yeah, you know, the only guys I
So
know.
does Frankie.
3 guys.
I'm just saying.
Shout out to Timeless Soldier. Timeless
Soldier.
Soldier in the chat. He says, Mooch, did you platinum control yet? I'm so close. I am so close. I probably will try to do that somewhere between. Listen, that's got to happen before Borderlands 3 comes out. So sometime between now and next Friday, I'll have control. I'm hoping to have control platinum, and then I'll also have Gears 5 beat. Now, Gears 5, you know, they're doing it again, guys. You guys tell me who've played it far, and I feel bad Xbox wasn't able to get back in here. But is Gears 5 being stingy with the achievements again? Have you guys noticed that? It seems like
I think so.
Well, I got one for doing the
the intro.
Well, yeah. That's how they fool you, E. That's how they fool you.
yeah.
You're like, oh, this is going to be easy. They're just giving it away, right?
I know Gears, man. You know, it's like
That's like getting points for your name on the SAT. You're like, this is no
pretty
big
much,
deal.
You're like, hey, thanks for signing in. Pop.
Especially when you're coming off control and they're dropping like trophies left and right, you know.
Man, you do a turnaround and control is like achievement.
Yeah, control just throws them at you. They really do. They've got a
Yeah.
couple of odd ones you got to earn, but at the same time, they just chuck them at you. That doesn't
It was
happen.
the same for Quantum Break. It was the same for Quantum Break, Mooch. Like it was like
That's true.
achievement.
Yeah,
achievement.
they were handing out achievements. Yeah.
So
I think you got an achievement for watching that short film.
yeah,
Did.
yeah.
You know?
So yes,
Yeah.
I don't know how the achievements are popping in Gears 5
Achievement
yet.
for
I haven't gotten
suffering through that
far, so.
game.
Oh no! People in the chat are reporting to me as we speak. Xbox Live is down. Fix
Yeah,
it.
I was just about to say. I just saw.
Mooch has got Gears to play. Well,
Nah,
I mean,
ain't good time for that.
I guess if that's not well, there you go. You know,
Trying to
I told
fix
you.
Gears
I guess
right
I
now.
guess I'm going to be platinum in control tonight. Great. Well, that I gotta be honest with you guys. I think that I'm looking forward to tonight. This is the weekend, right? Everybody said we said it just a second ago. An hour and a half we spent on Gears 5. But I do want to ask one more, and I appreciate E hanging out the whole night. See, E, I told you couldn't leave. You know what I mean?
Man.
Right?
I
I was like,
get me going, man. It's like
I was like, E, listen, just a half an hour. Don't worry about it. Everything will be great. By the way, E's like, why is the door locked? What the hell? What
Can't get out.
the hell's wrong with this guy? Listen, I got to be honest with you.
Charm.
Right? So I appreciate that. Well, now here's the thing. Here's where that charm's going to go out the window, E. I'm a big fan of Stadia, okay? And
Boy.
I kind of slipped
You
this in,
and-
right?
You and Enrique.
Right? Oh, Enrique, too. I didn't know I had
No,
Enrique.
No, I'm on the fence now. I was a huge fan of Stadium. Now I'm kind of like,
Well, E, listen, maybe I'll talk you into it. Listen, here's the thing.
Second stadium, getting a refill. I'll be back.
Oh, it's great. I want an X-Bot here because he can't stand it. But and Crap's also great for the negative side of Stadia. He's not a big fan of it. But here's the thing. I said to the guys on the panel, I said, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and put Stadia in there and say Mooch is a big fan of Stadia. Prove me wrong. I mean, what is it, E, that you would say, even if you like it, which I don't know your stance currently, and I want to know your stance. What is it that you would say is your biggest deterrent? And let me see if I can actually have some kind of logic back that may at least make you think about it.
About copping Stadia?
Well, not yet. Not just the founder. I'm not asking you to spend $130. That's not fair. I'm saying just Stadia's idea moving forward. What's your pro? What's your con? Do you have one of either?
The pro is definitely kind of having like access, like the instant access to a library through through browsers and stuff like that. The con is the infrastructure, like people having or the bandwidth to actually take advantage of it. Because I heard some stories out of PAX where people were demoing it, and even in an ideal situation, it was kind of lagging on them.
Yeah.
So no, I'm sort of on the fence where I kind of want to see where it goes. I'm not one of these people that are like, just because, a company tells me so, this is the wave of the future. I don't know that.
That's true.
I don't know how people are going to take to it, but I also don't stand in the way of progress. So I'm not a hater of it where I'm like, oh, this is complete garbage. I don't want it because I don't know what it is yet.
Right. I want to say shout out to V Gorilla for the sub. I appreciate that. But here's the thing, though, E. Let me ask this much to you. Mm-hmm. So, look, none of us know that. Your concern is valid across everybody. Everybody's right. But the thing about it is that I am never thinking that Stadia or xCloud is our future for gaming. It's not. It's just not, So, I mean, it's just myself personally, I think it's more along the lines of an option. So, I mean,
that's kind of where I'm at. That's where I'm at, Mooch. It's like I'm not one of these people that immediately gets pissed off and wants to hang up the phone on you. Or if you mention Stadia, I'm not like that, So yeah, I'm always interested in like new ideas and new tech and new options. You know what I'm saying? Like you can give me something where I can be in a hotel and I can just log in and pick up a controller, like Bluetooth it. I'm good. Well, doesn't hurt me, Doesn't hurt.
So Enrique, what's your conversation piece in this? How'd you go from in favor of it to maybe not at all?
Well, because I thought it was going to be like a Netflix type service, and then it was like, okay, you have to buy your games, and I'm like, I'm already doing that. So do I really need this service on top of what I already have? I mean, and I'm not saying that it's going to fail. I for me, it's kind of also a wait and see. Like, is it going to work?
But Enrique, I have to. Me and we've been talking so much recently, which is great, by the way. And I want to tell you, you've said some things to me. You're like, Mooch, I've got this going on. I've got this going on. I've got this going on. I know you're a Borderlands fan, right? So I'm going to go ahead and now, bad example because Borderlands comes out in 7 days, right? Bad example because Stadia doesn't come out till November. But I'll use Borderlands as an example because it's a game we both like. So all of a sudden I say to you, Enrique, is there any way that you would think about possibly picking up Borderlands 3 on Stadia? Let's say it was out right now. And you say, I'll think about it. I'm not sure. And we're playing through the campaign. And maybe we're playing on Xbox. But you said, you know what? I'll double dip. I'll buy this game. I love it. I don't mind having it in 2 places because, to be honest with you, I just love it that much. All of a sudden, you're out, right? And you're at a lot of these places that all of our kids play sports. They have Wi-Fi. And you're saying, okay, I'll log on and I'll play. All of a sudden, you're sitting there because they have practice and they have this and they have that. You could be there for almost 2.5, 3 hours. If you could bring a Google tablet or any kind of phone and be able to bring the controller and just start playing, I think this is an alternate way of gaming. It's not like there's no way I'm going to say to you, Enrique, what are you doing tonight? You home? Me too. Launch up that Stadia. Let's get that Stadia up. No, we're not doing that. We're playing on Xbox or PlayStation. That's just the way it is. Yeah. But this is a viable option. I think there's a lot of people that are in the chat that are going to listen to this later that are parents. And they're going to go, I do have 2 or 3 hours where I'm sitting there. I know I have Wi-Fi because my phone's linked to it. And I could be playing this game. What do you?
Is it going to work? See, here's the thing. Like, if it works, great. I could see myself doing that, being on the soccer field. Although to my wife's, could be side-eyed out there with a controller on the phone. But no, I mean the thing is, it's got to work though. And if it works, and they get like and the other thing too is, if they really get, some good first-party titles, some things that aren't on the other platforms. And it works well, then I could see myself gravitating towards it. And I've never said like it's a definitely that I could never see myself doing this. No, if it works, kind of gaming experience that I want, if it offers the kind of content that I can't get on the other platforms, I would absolutely. But I am taking a wait and see approach. I was very bullish in the beginning. I was saying that 5G was going to come in and be the savior of Stadia, and this is how Stadia would work. But I also want to see
Well, I will tell you that
how it's going to play out. And the one thing that I like about Game Pass, and I think we talked about this last week. Like we said, Game Pass is going to be xCloud. xCloud is going to be Game Pass.
I've heard that from a few people now. Now I've heard that from more and more people, Enrique, that possibly it may come down to Ultimate Game Pass may include xCloud.
And then so from a value perspective, I think there's more value there than to what Stadia is offering.
Absolutely. This is not. That's the one thing that I have to try to kind of put out there as a public statement statement announcement is that I'm not trying to put Stadia versus xCloud. I'm saying it's all or none. That's my pitch. My pitch is it's all or none because I don't know how people are ranting and raving saying no xCloud's going to be good. Listen, if xCloud is part of Ultimate Game Pass, Ultimate guys, hear me out. Just because Ultimate Game Pass was 99 cents, it's not going to be 99 cents forever. You know, they fully intend for you to pay $10 or $14 a month, guys. So my point being is, everyone keeps forgetting that. They're like, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Yeah, I know. I get it. I get it.
That is right.
Right, 99 cents. Everyone's like screaming from mountains. Everyone that's screaming from a mountain right now that you paid $1 for Ultimate Game Pass. Are you going to be on that same mountain, on that same soapbox when it's $14.99 and there's no break?
When that bill comes in,
right? Right? They're doing this to lure you to get used to having it. This is all like it's literally it's no different than the cigarette companies, right? It's like, oh, you're 18. Hey, try a free cigarette. No, you won't get addicted. 40 years later,
Yeah. They're banking on it like the gym membership. Like you sign up and just I'm gonna go next week.
Yes, $1. It's just $1 to sign up. Then it's $10 a month. You're like $1? I got $1 right here. You guys take 4 quarters? Of course we do. Right. All right, great. And all of a sudden you're paying $10 a month and you haven't touched a treadmill in 8 years. Go ahead.
Yeah.
The other thing too is no one's talking about. I mean, we talk about xCloud and Stadia data caps. You talk about streaming at 4K.
Yeah, that's why I said infrastructure.
Well,
Comcast, I mean, you're going to be eating through your data.
Enrique, here's the deal. Shout out to a guy who did a great video and apparently got a lot of slack for it. But I follow him on Twitter. He follows me back, and Nintendo. If you guys follow him on YouTube, he does a lot of Nintendo stuff, but he took time to do a 25-minute video. And my God, it was really, really well edited. If you guys want to see a really good video, go check out this guy, Nintendo. He did a whole thing on Google Stadia, and he said he even gave a disclaimer in the beginning. He's like, this is not what my channel's about. But he's like, I played it at E3, and it's good. And he got into data caps, and he gave numbers and figures, and I didn't write them all down. Shame on me for this conversation. But basically, you don't have to worry about the data caps with 4K. You do, but if you're just planning on streaming it at 1080p, you're fine. Right. You're fine. It's not an issue. And not just that, I just don't think that you're also not, again, it's a viable option for gaming. It's not your primary. So you can't be like, Mooch, come on, dude. You're like, I gamed 10 to 25 hours a week. Yeah, I get it. And you're still going to do that at home. I'm talking about the 3 to 5, you're on the road. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not
one of those guys that get angry about it. Some people get mad, like you're saying, I'm coming, I'm taking your extra PC and everything, and all you're left with is Stadia. Deal with it.
Right. Right? It ain't happening. It ain't happening.
Right.
So I don't know. That I think that all I keep bringing up on the show all the time, and I like my new slogan is I'm not just a client, I'm also a founder. I think it's something that people should think about because people are so excited about, and I just for some reason, and I don't know why, I feel like Google's technology on streaming games is slightly ahead of Microsoft's.
Oh, yeah, because Microsoft's using the Xbox One S like servers, right?
Right.
Google's like, no, I don't know. I'm not at Microsoft.
I don't know.
I don't know what they can do, but
Microsoft's not talking about 4K gaming on the go, though, right? They're talking 1080p.
Man, like Google's presentation was like, we got millions of server houses, blah blah blah, 4K, and I'm just like, wow, like I was impressed.
Yeah.
And if there's anyone that can do this, like I know I always joke around, like, okay, if they couldn't get Hangouts right, how are they gonna get Stadia right? But all jokes aside, I mean, they could pull this off. They can do it.
I don't ever buy the whole cemetery of things that didn't work for a company. The reason I don't buy that kind of stuff is, I mean, that's like saying the Xbox One and the Xbox One X and the Scarlet could never have existed because of the red ring of death. That was a failure. So nothing can ever come from that's just nonsense. It's nonsense. I think that, Google's got to prove themselves. Whenever there's a new product, I mean, Apple was almost in the toilet until Steve Jobs came back. We miss you, Steve!
Right. After they gave him the boot.
They gave him the boot, and then they're like, can you please go back and save it, please? And look at, you want to think one man doesn't have a lot of pull. Apple, I'm a huge Apple fan, and Apple hasn't been the same since Steve passed. So, I mean, they're doing well. They're doing very well. It's funny, people go, they're like, well, they're doing great. They sure are, but I'm an iPhone guy. I've been an iPhone guy since day one. The first one that came out, I owned, and I've owned every one since. And the iterations haven't changed at all in 6 years, right? Yeah. So, I mean, I hope they do something soon, but that's a different conversation, different podcast, folks. The other thing I want to talk about, because we're getting low on time, is I did want to talk about Sony skipping TGS. And I think a lot of people here are saying to me, people saw that in the headline, and people were hitting me up in the chat before we got going. They said, Mooch, you're wrong. You're wrong. They're going to be there. They've already said they're going to have this stream, and they're going to have this stream. And, pardon me, that's fine. They're going to have streams, but they're not going to have a physical presence. They're going to have their version of probably like a direct. And then they're also going to have, I guess, a ton of time with Death Stranding. But again, it's all video being shown. It's not going to be them having a stage presence. I mean, do you guys think it matters that Sony's not at TGS? They're not at E3. They're not at, they're not anywhere anymore. It seems like they just kind of, I think they want to go the Nintendo route and just do these virtual or these directs. Is this a good move? Is this really, I mean, we joked about it years ago and we said E3 is coming to an end, but is it really?
What's funny? They kind of warned us that they were doing this. Remember that article when the CEO said they were going to kind of lay low? I don't remember his exact words. You remember that? They were going to lay low.
Yes.
And in preparation for the next gen.
Next gen,
right?
Yes.
Yeah. And people are like, oh my God, like what are they like, they're I forget the backlash, whatever from that order. Anyhow, they talked about this before skipping E3. So I'm not surprised that they're missing they're not gonna have a per se at at TGS. But look, they don't need it. One thing that Sony's shown us or proved to us this generation, they don't have to be at this show or these big shows to make waves in the industry.
Let's make a tweet.
Gamescom announced the acquisition of Insomniac.
Well, it's like Tis the Season said. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, Enrique. He's like the same thing they've been doing every year at TGS. They have a floor presence, but they're just not doing conference.
Exactly.
They haven't done a conference at TGS in a while.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's been a couple of years since they've actually done one.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're gonna. I guarantee they'll be back at E3 next year because of the PlayStation 5. I don't see them missing that again.
They have to come back. I mean, that's the thing. I just think it's odd that I thought TGS was a big show for Sony, right? That's their home turf. It's like, let's go out there, let's just kick some ass. And them not being there, I'm like, wow, I think that article that you're alluding to, Enrique, is 100% right. They're just laying low.
That's what they said. They said we're going to lay low before they get ready for the next generation, and that's what they're doing. If Insomniac's not proof of that, I don't know what else is. But and there's rumors. We know about the rumors of them maybe acquiring some other studios like Remedy, maybe.
Is that something that we're just all running with because we're all trying to be some kind of detective out there? We've seen all these clues. Yoshida went to Remedy, right? But is this but is this happening? Is there something that you just go, listen, I got a gut feeling it's happening. Forget all the nonsense.
No, I don't have any gut feeling, honestly.
I don't either. I don't. I want to think they're going to do it, and the more I sit back and I think about it, I'm like, I don't know if Remedy. I mean, one person made a good point on Twitter. I can't remember who said it, but they said Remedy just falls in line with the other type of studios they already own.
Yeah, they don't. That's kind of my feeling on. I'm like, do they really need a Remedy?
It doesn't fill a check mark, right? It doesn't
right.
fill up the portfolio any differently. So I don't necessarily feel that.
It does when they own Alan Wake 2 and they can go out there and parade it.
But that's another thing, too, Enrique. Like, I'm so glad Alan Wake, too. Everybody talks about that on Twitter like it's the next coming of what. And I'll tell you right now, I don't know if Alan Wake really has that much pull. Has a lot of pull in the Xbox community, but I don't know if it would sell gangbusters because it's been so long. And I don't know. I think that Remedy right now, as it stands, not to go into last week's show, but Remedy right now as it stands is going to be remembered for Control. I think Control is the game that they're going to be remembered for right now. Moving forward, you say, and you guys are all like, "Oh no, Max Payne," and I'm like, "That's fine. I'll ride with you because we're all in the same age group." But if you ask somebody who's younger,
Control.
5 years from now, they're going to be Control. Right. And, they made Max Payne. What's Max Payne? Right? So that's why I say that. It's by no means am I shading on Max Payne. Max Payne it was one of my favorite games growing up. But I mean, Max Payne's rights are now with Rockstar. And why the hell Rockstar sitting on that unbelievable IP? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but Max Payne 3 was one of my favorite games to play.
Oh, so good.
Right? Wasn't it so good? I mean, just those cutscenes where he's crushing that Jack Daniels. Right, it's good stuff, guys. Listen, we're approaching the 9 o'clock hour. I promised E that I would only keep him a half hour. As you can see, the door was locked. He couldn't leave.
It's all good, man.
I appreciate it, E. I thank you so much. Guys, I just want to let everybody know again, real quick, we had, and Jay, I'm going to be doing some outros right now. I'll tell you, Crap had some stuff going on. He couldn't make it. He'll be back tomorrow night. So many people are playing Gears. So you check out Crap Gamer at Crap Gamer Reviews. I'll give him a plug. Xbot448. I don't know what happened. He just moved into his new house. Apparently, his internet got ripped out. That's what happens when you're by the beach.
Yep.
But nonetheless, I want to go down my great panel here and thank the guys that are here with me tonight. And I'm going to go in reverse order, and I'll say, Pred, because I didn't give you a chance to give you the formal introduction, I want to give you the right outro. Pred, thanks for being here tonight. I appreciate you coming in last minute. I know you had a lot of shit going on. But let people know where they can find you.
Gears. That's what I'm going to be at tonight, the rest of the weekend. Gears
Xbox One X or Gears PC?
X.
All right, thank you.
Maybe, you know what? I
What?
haven't even downloaded on PC, but I'll
What?
probably be on the Xbox One X.
All right, well, I downloaded.
It looks better.
I downloaded it on both. I played the first chapter, not the first Act 1 chapter when I played on both, just to see. And I would give the nudge. I'll give the nudge to PC, but I mean that's to be expected. It's kind of to be. So whoever said that, I don't know if they're playing it right, but that being said, again, right?
Maybe some Ghost Recon and Greedfall. I think comes out next week. So
Well, we got to talk about Greedfall next week. We'll definitely get into that. That's a game that's definitely got my eye on it. Like I have any time, right? We're all gonna have to quit our jobs,
right?
Enrique from Brap. Enrique, thanks for being here tonight, dude. I know that you had some family stuff and you were able to move everything along just to be here tonight. I want to say thank you so much. Let everybody know where they can find you, please.
Gears 5. Just like Predator.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
so
definitely Gears 5 tonight. I might do a stream tonight. I did one stream on Twitch. Actually, 2 streams I've done on Twitch. I may do another stream, yeah. But you can find us on YouTube, Basement Radio Arcade Podcast, and on Twitter, Brap_podcast. So
appreciate that, Enrique. Thank you. And then E, thank you so much for being here tonight. And again, I do appreciate you staying the whole time.
Hey, no problem. We had to make up for lost time because I know you asked me to come on last week. You know, Dorian saw to that. So
yes, sir. I appreciate that. Let people know where they can find you, man. And hopefully you come back real soon again.
Oh, you know it, man. You know I'll be back on whenever you need me. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, EC Jackson with an X, and also on Basement Radio Arcade Podcast Wednesday nights with this knucklehead.
Guys, definitely check that out on Wednesdays. Again, I want to say a special thanks to Jay the Matrix Gamer. That's at JMatrix76. Awesome guy. He's a streamer. Check him out on Twitch as well. All of his information is also in the description. We're going to be doing a lot of streaming on twitch.tv myself, the Mooch78. Guys, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit that little bell, which some people say it does something. I'm not really convinced of it thus far. And we'll catch you guys next Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, when we'll be talking about Borderlands 3 until you just say, Mooch, stop talking about it because it's Mooch's game of the year. I can't wait to play it. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out, everybody. Thank you.
Ghost Recon.